All right, so we are going to practice more of our division using our dad, mom, sister, brother, rover steps. So first we have to make sure that we know how to put our division problem in the long standard algorithm way correctly. So first, our bigger number, our first number is our dividend, and our dividend goes inside. So 5 and 7/10 goes inside. Then the second number, it's divided by 4. That's our divisor. That's what we're dividing by. The divisor goes on the outside. So then we can go step by step. So our first step is to divide. So the problem that we're starting with is 5 divided by 4. Remember, it's always going to be divided by 4, just like it is up in our original problem. So 5 divided by 4. My suggestion is that you go to our divisor and over to the side, you write the multiples of that divisor. So I have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, let's see, 24, 28, and we're going to stop for right now. We can add to our multiples list if we need to. So the closest that we're going to get to 5 is it just putting it in one time. 4 times 1, so I'm going to put that here. Then we think of dad, we just divided. Now it's mom, so we're going to multiply. So we have to multiply our partial quotient up here times our divisor, which is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. So we've done dad, mom. Now it's sister, subtract. So 5 minus 4 is 1. Now we're at brother. Brother is to bring down. So now our problem is no longer 5 divided by 4, but now we have 17 divided by 4. So I'm going to go over to my list of multiples that I have over here, and I can get to 16, but the next one up is 20, which is too big. So 16 is the closest that I can get. How do I get that? 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4. So 17 divided by 4 is going to be 4, but we're going to have a remainder because we can't get to exactly 17. Remember, you can go up to view instructions to see our steps. So we just did divide. Now we're going to move on to mom, which is multiply. So we're going to multiply our partial quotient, so part of our answer, times our divisor here. 4 times 4 is 16. And now we're going to subtract, which is our next step. And then after we subtract, we bring down. So subtracting 17 minus 16 is 1. Well, there's nothing left for us to bring down, but we didn't end in a happy 0. So remember how we talked about when you are doing or dealing with decimals, we could put on zeros for as long as we wanted to? Well, this is going to be an example of when I want to put a 0 here. It's already there, but I'm going to put it there, and then I can bring down. And now look, now I have 10 divided by 4. I didn't change the value of this. There's no difference between 5 and 7/10 and 5 and 70 hundredths other than just place value. So now my problem is not 17 divided by 4. Now I'm dealing with 10 divided by 4. See how nice it is to have your list of multiples right here? The closest I can get is this 8, which is 4 times 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here. And now I'm at step 2, which is multiply. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 2, which is 8. Now I'm at step 3, subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. So now I'm at bring down. I don't have anything to bring down, but I haven't ended in that nice little 0. So I'm going to bring down another 0. So I bring down this 0. Now I have 20 divided by 4. So I'm going to go here and change this to 20 divided by 4. Well, let me go back over to my handy dandy multiples. And look at that, I can get 20. So this is going to end up, because I added those placeholder zeros on, I didn't change the value of it. I just added those zeros that are already there. Now I can divide it evenly. So now I have times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times 5. So now I just divided. So divide, dad, mom, sister, brother, Rover. I just divided, so now I'm at multiply. My partial quotient 5 times 4 is 20. Now I'm at subtract. I get 0. I have nothing left to bring down, but I also have a nice 0 there. You can't see it because it's behind my eraser tool, but it's there. So the only thing that's missing is I've got to bring this decimal place up. So I actually have a decimal right there. So when I divide, 5 and 7/10 divided by 4, I get 1 and 425 thousandths. So my suggestion to you while you're doing this is make sure you put it in your division thing correctly. So we have divided by 2, which divided by 2 is going to go on the outside. And our first number, our dividend, is going to go inside. Then I would suggest you go over here and you write multiples of your divisor, 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and just do a few of them. If you want to do that on your whiteboard, that's fine too. You could also circle your multiples on the hundreds chart as well. So now that we've done that, I also suggest that you write down the steps: dad, mom, sister, brother, Rover. I've had kids who write the symbols: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then repeat is like a circle with an arrow. So we repeat it. So that way, you can always go up and click and look at the instructions, but the more you get to trying to use your own methods, the more independent you're going to be. So we're going to do this one again together. I'll change the color so that way you'll be able to tell. So now that I have it all set up, we're going to start with our first problem, which is 0 divided by 2. Remember, we start with the inside and then we move out. So right now we're doing 0 divided by 2. Well, if I had 0 pencils, could I share them with 2 friends? Nope. So it goes in there 0 times. So now I'm at multiply. So 2 times 0 is 0. Now I'm at sister, which is subtract. So 0 minus 0 is 0. Now I'm at brother. So I'm going to bring down my 9. So now I'm at repeat. So I go back up and I divide. So now instead of 0 divided by 2, I have 9 divided by 2. Let's go over to our handy dandy little multiples list. Here's 8, here's 10. 10 is going to be too big, so it's going to go in there 8 times. So 2 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4. So 4 times. So now I'm at mom. 4 times 2 is 8. Now I'm at sister. I subtract. I get a 1. Now I didn't end with a 0. So I'm going to bring down the zeros that are always there. We just don't always see them or need them. And I have 10. So now I have 10 divided by 2. Oops. Erase that. Erase that. I have 10 divided by 2. So going over to my multiples, I have 10 right here. So that's 2 times 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 and times 5. So now I have 2 times 5 because I'm at multiply, and I get 10. Now I'm at sister, which is to subtract, and I get 0. So now I get that happy 0 at the end that I'm looking for, but I cannot forget that most important step, which is to bring my decimal up. So 9/10 divided by 2 is 45 hundredths. So you have a few of these to practice on your problem set, and it's not until you get to slide 6 and 7 where you're doing your exit ticket. Good luck, Bella, and let me know if you want to meet up for extra practice.